How are you today? Happy to have you with us. I'm down in Finger Lakes. I live in Naples, New York a couple days of the week, and I have an Airbnb down here, so a lot of fun. And today we're talking about brain health, and everyone's got one, right? And I think everyone wants to have one that's healthy, one that lasts us, through the years, whether you're a child or whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or beyond, when we don't have our brain capacity or our reasoning capacity or our memory starts to go, these can be things that can be very daunting to our quality of life, not only to us, but also, to our family members too, right? Hey, Angela, nice to see you. It's something that is, definitely on the increase. Dementia's been, around for a long, long time, but this Alzheimer's thing is certainly new. And although I don't speak to any, disease, because I'm not a doctor, of naturopathy, I am a doctor of naturopathy, not a medical doctor. So I am here, to help you to talk about some natural ways that you can take care of your brain. We're going to talk about some supplements that are super helpful with a lot of studies. We're going to talk about some foods that are necessary. And I'm going to talk about some of the chemicals that can end up in your brain of all places. We talk about the liver a lot. And the kidney and our body fat is a place that holds on to toxins. Well, you know what? Our brain holds on to toxins as well, too. And it will affect how you feel, how you function. And let's face it, we can have all of the vitamins that we want in our drawer, going to our Zuma classes. But if we don't have our brain function and we don't have our mental energy and our focus and all that, we are going to live a life that's going to be a little bit more challenging. Wouldn't you agree? So let's talk about how we can make that great. Nice to see you. Hi, Jane. How are you? Good morning, Gretchen. Hi, Liz. Nice to see all you guys today. So first of all, the brain is an organ. Okay, so just like your liver and just like your heart, it is an organ that needs, some care. Most people don't think about it that way. You just think like, okay, I read, I write, I talk, but the brain needs to be thought of as an organ, as something that needs care, not just something that happens to you. Okay, dementia doesn't just happen to you, or Alzheimer's doesn't just happen to you. I'm not saying that there's fault, but I'm saying there's things to do to shore that up. I always tell people to look into your history. Now, my history is my mom did have Alzheimer's dementia, not to her late 80s, and same thing with Mark's dad. So in our house, and I'll share with you the supplement that I take, I know that that's a potential. I have many aunts with dementia, not to later age, but that's a potential. It's in my genetic makeup. So I want to take care of that now. So if you have people within your family, that may have had this difficulty, there's also a possibility that you may have a weakness in that area too. So I always say, why not do the insurance? Why not do the work? Why not take the supplements, eat the good food, so we can ensure, to have a strong brain? The number one thing to start with, that I won't elaborate too much because it's just super simple. Okay, our brain is a lot of water, 60-70% water. Most of y'all are dehydrated. Okay, take your water, get it in on a daily basis. It's been shown that you will actually have 14% better function if you have enough water in your body. So that's simple, that's free, that is just a habit. It is just a habit of doing. So let's start with that. Another thing is, you may be fighting some difficulty if you're dealing with candida. Now, I'm not going to talk about candida today. I have a whole video on it, but candida can cause, and that's a yeast overgrowth. It can cause brain fog. It can have difficulty focus, concentration. And another thing that can cause problems are your medications. So take a look at your medications if you are on some, because some of your medications, a side effect will be that as well too. So I'm not saying, I never tell people that, get off their meds. You do that with your doc, but you can perhaps work on some natural things and then cut back with that, if you work with your doc along those lines. So I'm happy to recommend. So let's talk about some of the herbs, first of all, that have been shown to be super duper helpful, for your brain. And one is ginseng. And I'm sure you've heard about this for years. It is, either it's an Asian ginseng or Siberian ginseng. They are all shown to protect the brain. They actually protect the cells, protect the brain cells. So remember, our cells are only as strong as the food we're eating and the toxins. We grow new cells every day. But if our cells are subject to free radical damage or antioxidant damage, then we're going to lose some brain cells. Just like they say, too much crack or too much alcohol, you're going to burn up your brain cells. That's absolutely true. So the ginseng is going to act as a protective barrier, okay, around the cells. It's a great thing to have in a brain supplement or to take, on your own. It also helps for you to lengthen your mental endurance. And what's mental endurance? Well, maybe, like even when I'm doing this, for my show, my mental capacity needs to be on. I'm talking quick, I'm live, I'm going. Maybe you need to do that kind of thing. Maybe you're in school, maybe you are learning, maybe you have to have concentration for long periods of time. Even at home, we need that. So the ginseng is going to create more mental endurance for your brain to do more, process more for longer periods of time. Now, ginkgo, you may have heard of. Ginkgo biloba. It has been around a long time. Guess how old the ginkgo tree is? Anyone want to guess? I can't even believe this. It has been shown to be 250 million years old. So I guess people have been taking ginkgo for a long, long time, and our ancestors used the plants and used the trees. This isn't, quote, new age medicine. It's been around for, a long, long time. Oh, hey, Peter, how are you? Hi, Paula. Hi, Sheila. Nice to have you. And ginkgo actually regenerates your brain cells. So this is definitely one, if you're taking, a brain product, which I highly recommend, that it has ginkgo in it, okay? And you want to have a good quality, of course, but it's actually going to improve your memory. It's been shown to increase your focus, increase your attention, and regenerate new brain cells. So it's a winner, right? It's one of those ones that, you want to get in on a daily basis, or at least some kind of combination of that, okay? Oh, Angela says she planned her own ginkgo. So let's talk a little bit about go to cola, okay? This is the third one that comes in. Sorry, I'm just going to turn my phone off, and I had a phone call come in. Gotu kola is native to Southeast Asia and also to India, okay? And it also supports the memory. It's another one that's been shown to be super helpful with focus, with attention, and really makes a big difference in your blood circulation. So in order for our nutrients to get to our brain, we have to have blood and oxygen circulation. So one of the things that ginkgo does, or gotu kola does rather, is increase that circulation to your brain, brings more oxygen to your brain, and also helps to reduce stress. Now, how does stress affect your brain? It actually causes inflammation, and if you've been following me, we know that inflammation can be a causative factor for a lot of diseases. So the ginkgo, gotu kola, all of those are going to help to reduce that inflammation, reduce that stress, so the brain can function at its very best. Another one that's wonderful you may have started to hear about is ashwagandha. Okay, that's ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has been shown very helpful to balancing your hormones, but it's an Ayurvedic herb, and what it is shown to be is to increase the function of the brain. Okay, just absolutely increase the memory, focus, concentration. That's also done through bringing more oxygen to the brain as well too. It helps with mental clarity, helps us to be able to stay on task, for longer periods of time. So I think all of us are going to function better if our brains are functioning better. It just makes sense. I'm sure you've heard of turmeric. This is an herb that has gained a lot of popularity. Again, it's been around for a zillion years. It's just coming into our, medicine, as you will. And, turmeric is something that you can get into your food. You can put this into curries. My daughter has a wonderful egg salad, recipe, or deviled eggs rather, with some curry in it. I make what's called a golden milk drink. You can look that up. It's called golden milk. And in order for turmeric to absorb, you need to have pepper. Okay. So I make a golden milk. I'm not going to give you the exact recipe, but it's got like some almond milk in it. Has a turmeric put right in there, a little bit of cinnamon, but you'll always have to have black pepper in order for it to absorb. It's just one of those combinations. That's the way it works. Turmeric is a powerful antioxidant for your brain. It's eaten daily in India, and I found it very interesting. When I was there last fall, I was there for 5 weeks, and one of the things I found very interesting is that the Indian people don't wear glasses. Like, you might see 1 out of 1,000 people wearing glasses. People in their 60s, 70s, 80s, elderly people, nobody's wearing any glasses. I'm like, what is up with this? And so I got to do a little bit of study on this. I don't know if it's all the meditation. I don't know what it is, but I know turmeric is a big part of what they're doing. So turmeric helping inflammation, it's certainly, I bet a factor of the eyes as well too. What they have shown is that when you get turmeric into your diet, either through food, and again, I take turmeric in the brain supplement that I take, and I'll show you what that is, because I just want to get it in my body. I'm probably not going to eat turmeric every day. Okay, I maybe, Mark does a lot of Indian cooking, and, we do have it, probably more often than not, but I want it in daily. I don't want to screw around with it, okay? But you can get this in, and you will find that studies show 25% of Alzheimer's and dementia in India, and it's directly related to the turmeric, okay? You can throw it in your foods, in your lentils, all these kind of things, but get that powerful antioxidant in your body somehow. It's not just for brain health, it's for just about everything. Now I'm going to move on a little bit. Those are your top supplements that are going to make a difference. I'm going to move on a little bit to some things that can cause some harm to the brain. And one of those are toxins, all right? And we don't think about, as I said when I opened up, that we might carry and hold toxins in our brain, but we absolutely do. And so we need to do a type of a detox. And what that's called is it's a heavy metal detox. I do a heavy metal detox. Maybe once a year, not for too long, for maybe 5, 6, days at a time. And I just take this along with my food. It's not like it's any fasting thing, but I have a mouthful of mercury fillings because I had bad dental habits. I guess when I was a kid, my mother didn't know. I have no idea. I just know I've got a mouthful of mercury, and that stuff leaks over the years. Okay. I'm not, you think about all the years between how old I am and, 11, 12 years old. So I've had this in my body a long time. And, I'll talk about some of the metals and how they can affect. Today, we're just talking about our brain. But things, like mercury are going to make a big difference, and they settle into the brain and they stay there. Things like solvents, your high cleaners, your chemicals, your aluminums, your leads. We'll talk about these in detail right now, but all of these can settle not into just the liver and just into our body fat, but into the brain too. Now, lead was taken out of the paint in 1978. Okay, so finally, the government did something good. There's enough studies about that. It is still found in your cheap toys. I believe from China. That's where that category comes from. It's also found in lipsticks, and I actually just learned this. And I do wear lipstick, and I'm like, wow, interesting that just about every single lipstick made has lead in it. Like, wow, and it's right on your face and it's right in your mouth. I mean, there's probably some natural cosmetics. I've not crossed over to that, but I'm thinking that that's got to be a next step for me, is to get some better cosmetics. They found that lead will damage your nervous system. It increases your blood pressure, and it can store right in your body. People who do like homework, maybe like that. My home here is very old, 110, 20 years old, and if you're doing remodeling or doing old work, there and there's could be lead pipes, and lead in old houses to that. Another thing is called PERC. PERC is a high density chemical that is found in dry cleaning. And you may not think about dry cleaning being dangerous, but did you ever smell that stuff? It's like, I will not get my clothes dry cleaned. I just will not do it. It is just laden. It's been shown to cause liver issues. It's been shown to increase cancers. It's been shown to to disrupt and to stay within your brain and to cause havoc as there well too. Now, there are places that you can get your clothes dry cleaned that are green dry cleaners, meaning that they use good products. So if you are someone, maybe you're a business person. I mean, years ago, I used to wear, suits all the time, and, I did have to get my stuff, dry cleaned, and I finally just couldn't stand it anymore. And this is going back 15 years. There really wasn't any, green cleaners, around. But think about that before you just trot off and drop off your, especially things like blankets and, draperies and all that kind of stuff. It's just full of chemicals. And same thing about those little, chemicals that they put in your car, like when you get your car washed, those little trees and stuff, that's all chemicals too. So this stuff, stores in our brain. You have heard about aluminum, I'm sure. They have found that to be, definitely a strong correlation between, brain health and focus and memory, and the Alzheimer's too. Aluminum has been shown to be stored in the kidneys. It can accumulate in your brain and in your liver and in your lungs and in your thyroid. Okay, that is a lot of places for this stuff to be stored and to create havoc. And most people have aluminum in their body. If you go to a good practitioner, they'll be able to determine that. My advice is to just do a heavy metal detox, 5-6 times a year. Just get that crap out of your body, and then we don't have to worry about it. So a lot of this is just preventative health. Aluminum there has been a correlation, with Alzheimer's and dementia, and also they're showing with autism too. So there's different studies I was reading about how there's a correlation with that as well too. So I don't know the answer whether that crosses over into the blood-brain barrier. I'm going to look that up because I'm just having that thought right now. You'll find aluminum, in some of your cookware. You'll find it in your antiperspirants. Okay, I am not a fan of any kind of antiperspirants or deodorants. There's so many chemicals in there, and especially for women, we're like shaving our arms, so it's like wide open, and all these chemicals, dyes, fragrances, boom, right in there. Is there a correlation with breast cancer? I have no idea, but it's kind of close proximity. It's your lymph nodes. Okay, if your body stinks, it's because your it's because your colon is full of garbage, or you've got toxins in your body. You do yourself a nice colon cleanse and a liver cleanse, and you get that garbage out of your body won't smell, okay? It just will not. I haven't, Mark, even my former husband, my children, we don't use antiperspirants. You just keep your body clean, eat good, and detox, and you don't need to put those chemicals on. Think twice about what you put on your body. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. Think about what you're slathering on there. Think about we talked about dyes the other week, the other day, and if you're putting on, blue dye or this, Vaseline, you know what I'm talking about. Putting those colored stuff on you, it's all going in there. All of those chemicals. And they are going to affect your brain as well, too. Actually, baking powder has some aluminum in there. I know there's some natural alternatives there, even processed cheese and even foil. Foil is not a good product to wrap your food in. Foils, plastics, all chemicals, okay? Put your stuff in glass or get your stuff in some good plasticware that is safe, that it doesn't have BPA, because all of these chemicals leach into our food and then they leach into your body, okay? So the heavy metal detox is going to be the answer to get the stuff out. And now I want to talk to you about some foods that you can have that are going to boost your brain power, okay? These are all delicious foods too. So eating well and eating healthily should never be anything that you shouldn't be a chore. You should look forward to every meal. I was happy to find out one of the best foods for your brain are avocados. They're really a superfood. We can have them so many ways. You can put them in your smoothie. I have a smoothie every morning, put different things in, but it makes it really super creamy. I have made these brownies that were made, these brownies and a chocolate cake. I have 2 recipes that have avocados in them. So how great is that? Avocados have been, are the healthiest overall, for your brain. They've got vitamin K in there, and vitamin K is anti-clotting, okay? So it can be preventative as far as strokes go, and it's been shown avocado is very helpful for the memory. Beets are another one. Beets reduce your inflammation. Now, most of us don't say, I think I'll have some beets for dinner tonight, but you know what? If you cook some beets, what I like to do is cook them, just lightly steam them, and then you cut them into chunks, and then you can put them in the freezer, all right? And then what do you do with those? You throw them in your drink in the morning, okay? They're wonderful for the liver. A good liver formula is going to have some beets in there, but it especially helps to take the toxins out of the liver and out of the brain, and it helps with inflammation in the brain as well, too. So beets are wonderful. They're great on salads, and they're just one of the healthiest foods overall that you can eat. Blueberries are shown to be the absolute highest in antioxidant. Your beautiful little blueberries, by far the best. Throw those into your smoothie. Throw those onto your cereal. Throw some of those into your salad, okay? Get good ones. Get an organic one. I like the frozen ones too. Frozen organic are fine. I've got them in the freezer, and then during the winter and when they're not in season, I can just pop them into my drink every morning. They are super duper antioxidant. And again, just so you know, an antioxidant is a food or supplement that protects the cells. It's like if you could picture your cell and then putting like a metal ring around the outside so your cell is super safe. So if you've got these free radicals, and they're like the old Pac-Man game, right? They're trying to eat up our brain cells. They're trying to find their missing links, and so they're always nibbling away. So that's why your free radicals are so dangerous and why your antioxidants are so important. So if that cell's protected, doesn't matter who's nibbling, it's not going to get in. So get some blueberries in. Broccoli is one of the best brain foods overall. Raw foods are going to be better for you than cooked. If you cook foods too much, they lose their enzymatic flavor, and then it also dilutes the vitamins in there as well too. Very high in vitamin C. Vitamin C, very good for your brain. Coconut oil, right? We mention this all the time. Coconut oil has like 700 different uses in the brain. It is a natural anti-inflammatory. It's wonderful for focus and for memory and concentration. You can do the oil pulling. It was one of my first videos I did was on that. You can put it into your skin, and I use it for sunscreen sometimes because it's got a 10 SPF on it. It's shown to be super helpful with your memory loss. I just made some cookies yesterday because Mark likes to have cookies around, but I make them super healthy. I use a really good organic butter for a small portion, and then for the base, I use coconut oil, and that gives it the moistness and it gives it a ton of flavor. And then I'm putting in things like pumpkin seeds and flax seeds and walnuts. We put in a few currants, yesterday, and so you can make these super healthy cookies that have all these great ingredients in them as well too. This is one you're all going to like, dark chocolate. Dark chocolate's good for your brain. Okay, we're not talking Milky Way, not talking Musketeers, we're not even talking the little candy kisses because those are overprocessed chocolate. But a good chocolate that has about a 70% cocoa in there, you can have that every day. You should have that every day. full of magnesium, helps your body to relax, and helps your brain in a big way, and reduces your blood pressure. The other thing that's super good are your egg yolks, okay? Finally, I think people are finally starting to realize that eggs are good for you. They're full of lecithin, which is, a fatty or acid rather, that's going to help to strengthen, the brain. They also have choline in there, and choline has been shown to boost brain power as well, too. And then I'll share with you the brain boost that I take, what's in that, and then happy to answer any questions. If anyone has any questions, hi, Brian. Hi, see you. I've been talking a lot here. Hi, Maria. Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now. If you like what you've heard, if you could just give me a couple likes, that'd be great. The videos are getting, thousands and thousands of plays, which is wonderful. I'm really on a mission, to help people to get well naturally. I'm on a global mission. I've got people watching these things all over the world, and it's really super cool because it's all things that we can do to feel better. And when we feel better, we can live the life that we want to live, right? Nobody wants to have dementia. Nobody wants to have Alzheimer's. And certainly, it's very difficult, to care, for this as well, too. Most of us have had some experience. So the brain boost that I take, this is what it looks like. I know it's backwards here, but it has the turmeric in that I talked about. Super healthy. It also has an alpha lipoic acid, but has been shown to, reduce stress and it increase circulation, to the brain. There's green tea in there, which is almost like a caffeine, so it helps with the focus in helping me with projects. And then that ginkgo is in there, the ginkgo biloba that we talked about earlier, and also black pepper. And it's one of the reasons that I was so impressed with this product is that if you're taking a product that has turmeric in, or you're taking turmeric and it does not have any black pepper in there, you're really losing the efficacy. Black pepper boosts the absorption of turmeric by over 200%. Okay, so it's really important that you get the right combinations to take those. So I just take one of these a day. I give one to Mark. Mark's dad had some dementia too. So we want to act proactively, and that's what so much of this natural health is about, is avoiding, not about getting some disease and then getting to the end of your rope and going like, oh, what should I take for this? It's like preventing it now. It's like an insurance policy now, so you don't have to deal with any issues later. So as always, I'm always here to help you. I do have a full class. It's a certified herbalist class. If you ever felt you wanted to do this kind of work, I train you personally. There's a great course book. There's an exam. It is open book, and there's 12 videos that go along with being certified. So if you wanted to be a certified herbalist, I help you, train you to do that, and also mentor you if it's something you want to go out and start a practice. There's nothing better than helping people live healthy, that's for sure. So have yourself a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.